morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling on a warm day. I tell you, it's amazing what a difference it makes from yesterday. It's like 20 degrees warmer than yesterday. It's the actual first.
Maybe it feels like more.
Well, it was a little humid yesterday.
Yeah.
It's the first hot day we've had.
It is.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's quite unfortunate, too. A lot of other things, a lot of other moving parts.
Anthony's got a little sunburn issue.
Got a little sunburn issue.
He's struggling. I, on the other hand, am like fit as a fiddle. As always.
Fiddle.
We got 9 to talk about. You need to talk about going to Naira Bets. If you're not a member, head on over. NairaBets.com. Javier is beseeching you.
Anthony, why didn't you put a shirt on the other day?
Yeah,
I don't know, Javi.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, there you have it. Promo code MATCH200. We will match with $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. 20% win bonus. Only one day left at Royal Ascot. Opt in Naira Bets. Spenderella, the U.S. filly, I believe she held on for second, a distant second, but second nonetheless for Grand Motion.
Not to be confused with Spinderella, who joined Salt and Pepper for many years in the 80s and 90s.
There you go. Second time Graham's actually finished second in this race. He was second with Sharing a few years ago behind this horse later beat by a monster, that Inspiral, who won. Yeah. Making her first start, she was the favorite. And Pizza Bianco beat 4 or 5 horses. She didn't run well, but she didn't run that badly. I mean, she's just a little overmatched, and it's tough. You know, you're giving up so much to horses not only that may be better than you, but horses with more experience on those kind of courses. And it's, over here it's a little easier to come over because our courses are fairly cut and dry, whereas over there there's some gimmicks to those courses. What else do we have? We have $2,000 late pick 5 bonus. Do you have a ticket on this, Anthony?
I don't actually.
Well, I'm Anthony. I mean, seriously. You're really slacking off. After the 437 tickets you made last weekend.
Big bounce.
You didn't have like one left over you could just throw up there? Yeah, you're good. You're good. Anyway, you get a share of that if you hit that. Opt in over at Naira Bets.
Last chance for a while to hear the dulcet tones of our man, the Mirror Man, Frank Miramani.
It's closing weekend at San Diego? He's coming to Monmouth, though, right?
He'll be at Monmouth next week, yeah.
Boy, he doesn't miss a trick, does he?
He's
making his way across pizzerias throughout America over the next week. What else do we have? We have the Belmont contest. You've got until 5 o'clock today, so you got 5 hours and 21 minutes as of now. Go over to Naira.com/contests. We also have a pick 6 carryover, 59,977. 2 horses live, 2 bombs yesterday, not the right bombs. Somebody was playing numbers. 2 people probably playing numbers. I doubt it was the same person, but you never know. Seems pretty odd. And finally, last but maybe least, the American State of the Races, 12:30 to 5:30, covering here and Churchill. They are back in action at Churchill Downs today.
Guest appearance by Michelle Yu today.
Michelle is in. We appreciate Michelle coming and joining us. She actually was flying back from London, stopped in New York and helping us out. And so we're happy to have her here. It'll be nice to see Michelle. It's always nice to see Michelle.
We're doing the late shift tomorrow, a little harness action tomorrow night on the program.
I hear it's you and Dave Little.
No.
Oh, it's not?
Michelle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Different. What happened? Oh, really? Change. I was really looking forward to that. Not that I'm not happy to see Michelle. Anyway, race number 1.
Happy birthday to Phyllis, by the way.
To who?
Happy birthday.
Your mom's birthday day?
Yeah, mom's birthday.
Oh, Phyllis, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, many more.
It's a wonderful woman.
Everything.
She
Love
is. You. She is. Phyllis, believe me, you don't have to apologize. It's okay. No, are you kidding me? The woman who produced this
I'm a national
great man,
treasure, Andy.
This great
Everybody
man.
knows it.
And she is a terrific person, and I hope she has a wonderful birthday. Big plans? Dinner tonight?
Dinner. She wants to play a little cornhole in the front yard when we go home.
Nice.
Got a little cake from Front Street Bakery. She loves the German chocolate cake. Whipped cream only. No buttercream.
Who doesn't?
It's really good stuff.
Excellent. Well, that's very nice.
128 buyer on
Phyllis
that
is
cake.
Anthony's mother, in case anybody's confused. Yes. Race number 1 is a matchup of 2. It's really unusual that these 2 Chad Brown horses ran the same race. And they lost to a horse who was unlucky to lose yesterday. Though I will say, I don't think she was best because the winner spotted the people about 5 lengths and still won the race. But she should have won as the race was played out because she did get trapped behind horses and ran very well. We'll take a look at that race. Now, Contemporary Art, owned by Bobby Flay, and bred by Bobby Flay, who, of course, had Pizza Bianco at Ascot. He went there as opposed to here. Can't understand why. I thought she had much the better trip of the 2. I thought Salabea ran the better race. She was wider. She moved out without cover. I thought it was relatively close, but I thought Contemporary Art had the better trip. And I really feel like they're going to unload on Contemporary Art more than Salabea, and I'm going to take Salabea, who I think ran as well, if not better, in the last race. They're clearly the horse to beat, but this isn't necessarily an easy field.
No. I thought...
I think that there's a number of interesting horses. I think there's Cherie's horse on the outside. Yeah. I think that Ornamental's a little bit interesting.
Ornamental's a little interesting. Yeah, it is a tough spot. And I think
but you've put Salabea third.
I did. I thought Shug's filly, the rail filly,
Salabaya.
personal best.
Well, why don't we talk about the two
that's fine.
Chads for now? Why?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you about the whole temporary art Salabaya thing. To me, it just appeared to me, and again, this might sound foolish. I feel like contemporary art is the better meant of the two.
I will tell you that last summer, Chad Brown was very, very high in talking about Salabaya. And obviously, and before they ran, I spoke to him, and he said they're both really good. She took more money in contemporary art. We disagree on who you want more today, and I certainly like a better price on the other one, though it's obviously not.
And you will get the better price.
But it's not going to be that kind of gap.
Flavian Pratt rode Salabaya first time, and now he's on contemporary art with a rat overseas, and Manny Franco.
I have a question,
Salabaya.
and
Sure.
Flavian Pratt's a tremendous rider. Is he riding better than Manny Franco? I mean, I'm not saying you said that.
I'm talking about
why the public may go there.
totes.
Yeah,
Yes,
perhaps.
talking about the tote.
But right now, I'll take Manny Franco along with anybody.
I know where you were going, and I would.
And I'm not.
Too.
And I think that Flavian's actually an awesome rider. But the way Manny's been riding, I think the way Manny's riding since
Manny's
the beginning of
lights
March,
out right now.
Yeah, he's really at the top of his game. Personal best. We'll take a look. It's funny. This was the 8-1 morning line,
right?
Yes,
8-1
morning line horse that someone was mad at me for.
8-5 instead of 8-1.
So 7-5.
7-5.
Jose Ortiz told me he thought that he probably should have let her roll a little bit more early in this race because we actually talked after the race. I don't know. From a speed figure standpoint, she's obviously inferior to the two Chad Brown horses. I think, like you, I think she's okay, and I think you're going to see Dylan Davis supposed to go with her, right?
The reason I split the two Chads was I believe that if contemporary art gets beat today, it'll be by a horse that just gets loose on her. And this, to me, unless one of the two Chad fillies is ridden differently, I don't see any of the other three being able to keep her company.
Unless they ride differently.
She has to go the mile and an eighth. I understand that.
Why are we worried about that?
I'm just saying she got a little tired last time.
Well, it was a weird race.
I would imagine
the one's okay, by the way.
I would imagine she's left alone on the front end, and
we'll see.
That makes her.
I would also point out, though, and we've had a day to dry, that they listed the courses firm yesterday. They weren't. The Widener was firm. The Inner was good. Was probably on the other side of good. And if you look at those races, the horses that race down on the inside. Now, this was yesterday. We've had a tired day. It's gotten warmer. Courses surely going to form up.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, you did not want to be inside on on the inner turf yesterday. And I think that's worth considering, thinking about a little bit. Race number, let's talk some others. Ornamental could be a little interesting, but just sort of a tough spot. And nice to see Cherie DeVoe, who seems to be ahead of the curve for people in Kentucky, shipping turf horses here. She's got horses in. And she saw what was going on, I think, at Churchill very quickly, and she's come here this horse. I'll tell you, this horse.
First three in front of her
right.
all came back to win. Won an allowance race.
The winner won a stake. The winner actually beat McCulloch.
Oh, right.
McCulloch 2 races later. No, Frippett won it off the turf race, and I think Pharaoh's Song. I can't read my handwriting. I'm not sure that horse won on the turf or not.
Okay.
Did improve 5 buyer points, but Walk Up, the winner's been good. She didn't have a good trip in there, I thought, Rosa Bay, but she was a little interesting. Good field. Race number 2. I can't believe I didn't get any priests from people complaining about the scratches, even though they were all MTOs and A's.
Maybe they're paying more attention.
Or maybe they're just all muted, the ones who've said it in the
Could
past.
be.
Thought this was actually a pretty interesting
great
race. Fast and Furious, your horse, we'll show you. Supposed to be in front in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Fast and Furious gets to the top.
Pharaoh's Song won on the turf for Chad.
Okay. Yeah. I'm hoping Fast and Furious just keeps going on the front end. 2 in a row, one on dirt, one on turf. Debut for Rob on turf was a good one last time. I don't know. I thought this horse had a decided tactical edge.
Well,
he's had
he's not going to be that far
chances.
in front of Athenry, is he?
If I were Dylan, I would be.
If you were Dylan,
I do believe
you wouldn't have sunburn. If you were Dylan,
I do believe Dylan might get worse sunburn than me.
Well,
you
wouldn't. But he wouldn't be out there.
White like this
he wouldn't
paper.
be out there in his Speedo and
I wasn't
flexing
in a Speedo.
out there.
I wasn't flexing.
There's a rumor going around.
I was singing Sinatra.
Were you?
And Sinatra.
By the way, I do want to say you
Louis
did a
Prima
tremendous
came on.
job with New York on Belmont Day. I really thought that was I wanted to congratulate you on that.
Yeah, that hasn't gotten old yet either. About 17 people messaged me about
Really?
that.
Am I 18?
I will tell you right now, I wouldn't have ended it with "Let's Go Rangers" and put the Woyos on them.
Did he say "Let's go"?
He
Rangers?
did.
Well, why?
Yeah,
Migliore said it every day in the show, and they did
it's
really
different.
well.
You don't do it in front of
No, right. There
leave it
were people
alone.
at Belmont.
You wait
nobody
till
was
it's
watching this
all-
TV
You wait
show.
till it's over. You wait till it's over.
Big hockey fan now. You're like Naja.
I watched the Rangers. And I watched playoff hockey. Yeah,
Naja became a Lightning fan late in the game, right in Game 6.
of course he did.
He took his He's got
He
a
does.
jersey for every team.
Right. He's like the wrestling guys. Take the T-shirts off.
I don't
and
have a
then do the other
problem.
one.
This horse does have to get 7 furlongs, and and I agree with you. The horse could certainly win. And Rod had 2 horses that just ran huge yesterday, so he may have been in a bit of a run. Wouldn't surprise me, but this is a tougher field.
Yeah, I guess.
Excuse me.
I guess. God bless. I thought the speed edge was enough, and like I said, this horse had less chances than the rest of these horses. I've kind of seen enough of some of these horses.
Well, I don't know. I think Athenry fits very well in here. I mean, Athenry's second off a layoff. Michelle Nevin's not a trainer that has great numbers off layoffs. I thought he was improving. I thought he ran fine last time. It was a little bit wide. Well, all the running in that race was done by horses that were down on the inside. I thought Athenry made a certain amount of sense. I also think Montatham fits fairly well in here. I mean, you were dead right about Hilliard last time. And the funny thing was, I was saying on the entry had no shot, and the other half ran second.
Too.
Yeah, they ran, and that race may have been okay. They may be better horses than these horses, you know. I mean, you and I don't disagree about the race. We just have them in slightly different orders.
Yeah.
I don't think King Moon Racer is impossible. I have a stat for George Weaver. 4 to 8 month last in the turf. The bugs are back up here, huh?
Yeah.
Sunburn, the bugs. It's all
a rough day.
This is like Queen for a day for you, and only in the second race dogging horses. And you're up here for. Are you up doing the early show?
Till 3. I'm up here till 3 o'clock.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks for the reminder. Appreciate it.
Oh, you
Thanks,
don't want
buddy.
to do it?
Of course I want to do it. I love doing it.
Anyway, good numbers for George.
It's a million degrees, though.
King Moon Racer.
Yes. You know where this is from? King Moon Racer.
It is summer in New York.
You know where King Moon Racer is from? It's from. He is the king of the island of misfit toys in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. King Moon Racer.
Wow.
He's a lion.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that. Wow, you learn so much interesting stuff on
Come
horses, don't
closer.
you? I'll tell you one thing you learn. We'll go on to the third race. It doesn't matter what the field looks like. Anthony, no matter how badly she runs, no matter how bad a bet she is, Anthony picks Stormy Cat Lady every single time she's entered. How many times do you need to make bad picks on this horse, Anthony? Last time wasn't enough for you?
Can I ask you a question? You're really going to sit there sipping your water.
She's a horrible pick in this race.
And
she's a horrible pick
telling
every
me
time.
that
Ridiculous
you can
horse.
really talk about.
She looks like a miler to you?
Andy, how could you knock anybody in here?
Well, I can knock anybody anywhere. Well, you like
This is. Wow.
But you pick her every time she runs. And every time I have the same conversation with you. Why are you picking this horse? She's one paced. She's not very good. She had a gold rail 2 back. Come on.
She gets her Lasix back today. That was the most interesting part of it for me.
Yeah, because of that stellar record she has with Lasix.
When she went off the Lasix, I wonder if there was some issue, and now she's back on the Lasix.
She ran 2 races with it. The last 2 races she ran were horrible.
I know.
Trying anything they can. We'll take a look at the Simple Sugar Game Theory, running second and third, I think.
Past the Sugar.
Last time.
Joe Hashem used to say that. Remember that? Joe Hashem won the
Don't know Joe Hashem.
World Series of Poker, the Australian. Past the Sugar when he won a pot.
Oh, God, must be annoying for people. That's going on right now. World Series, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Preliminary
this horse adds the blinkers for the second time. So
Who's that? Who adds the blinkers?
Simple Sugar. We're talking about her, right?
Not in my form.
Last time. She added them last time.
Oh,
she got
last
beat a
time.
Zop.
Gotcha.
Stretched back out. Got beat a neck.
She lost the favorite in this race.
Yeah.
She's a very logical horse, near a horse to beat. I'm going to take the Stranger. I always want the Stranger these groups. I get it. Frosted Bourbon's dirt races aren't really very good. I don't have a problem with that. She ran against significantly better horses in those races. I think you look at even Hey Mama, the horse she beat when she broke her maiden, came back and improved her by her 31 points in the subsequent start, a victory.
Should be 1526,
you,
guys. I sent the email in with the scratches. 1526.
1526 for Anthony.
Yeah.
You don't want the scratch horse?
No. In here, yeah, I would love the scratch horse.
She should be a maiden anyway. She's been disqualified.
She should have been disqualified. The Roz race. That was disgusting.
Preposterous non-DQ.
Yeah.
I like Frosted Bourbon in here. I thought she was very logical dropping down. Thought she made a lot of sense as the new face. The pick 6 with a carryover kicks off in race number 4. $59,000, just under $60,000 actually in that carry.
$23 shy of $60,000. See, if you would have put a ticket in yesterday, you would have got it to $60,000.
How do you know if I didn't? Maybe if I added $30 to my ticket, I would have.
I had 4 out of 5 in the late pick 5 yesterday.
I would have had 1 if I played the pick 6. Race number 4. Elira is probably going to be favored in here. And
Elara?
Ilara?
I thought you said Elvira for a second. Remember Elvira?
Of course I know Elvira.
My heart's on fire for Elvira.
We can look at Ilara in her last race.
Okay.
People think she's flattered by the 2 horses at 1. Well, Pickle Factory has improved. She's run well for Rob, but she's also had the runner races. Ready to Venture finished second, 1 in Synthetic in her next start. She's fine. She's the horse to beat in here. She also rode the rail. I can't take horses that are going to be super short prices that rode strong rails in their prior races, and that's exactly what Ilara did.
The horse she beat last time, too, was the Chad horse that lost in the match race.
Correct. And that horse was wide.
And that horse was wide. I mean,
I
put her second, but I kind of didnn't want to. I couldn't get a grip on this race.
She's the horse to beat.
Yeah, she's the horse to beat. I put her second,
How is
too.
it Except Temptation? What were we doing
I just thought I thought she'd be the one. You know, I didn't really love anybody in here. I wanted the trip, and I would imagine she's going to trip out behind the 6. Miss Taparato. I imagine Johnny's going to be forward.
Isn't Lenny Kate going to be in front?
I thought Miss Taparato would be in front.
Well, why would Trevor and why would Noda and Trevor be in here if they're not going to go to the front?
They didn't go to the front last time
I understand, but why would they be in here and not go to the front? I mean, she can be last if they don't go to the front. She may be last. She goes to the front, but she has no chance.
I would imagine Miss Taparato's going to be in front here, Andy.
Well, she's not really faster than Lenny Kate, but I don't know. It's close. I mean, I think
you don't think she's faster than Lenny Kate?
She's not that fast.
She's faster than Lenny Kate.
If I was confident that she would clear Lenny Kate, then I probably would have picked her in this race. I'm not confident she will. I am going to use her because she was outside last time and was off a long layoff, and I thought her maiden win was actually pretty good. I will be using her. I want community adjusted. You know, Lady Rockstar did come back and run well. Good trip or not, she did run well. The third horse isn't very good in that race. That bothers me. But if you watch the race, I didn't bring it up. She's kind of out of position, and she's never really gotten to a fair spot to make a run. Second off the layoff for Christophe. Horses usually need a race. She's no superstar, but I thought she fit well in here. I could use any of the 3, 5, and 6. I just didn't think your horse was good enough, Anthony. She never run well enough. She's 1 for 15 with 5 seconds running at lesser tracks.
I don't know how to assess this talent in here. I don't think there's much in here for her to beat.
See, I disagree. But how you assess talent is you look at speed figures. You look at who they ran against. The horse that beat her is terrible last time. The horse that ran third is terrible. She is not running against very good horses. I'm just telling you. And that's how you evaluate talent is you go to Formulator and you look at the horses they've run against. And you compare the horses that they're running against.
Okay, that's the better way for me to put it is I'd rather have the trip in here. Because I don't have any. I think
who's going to get the bad trip in here? It's a 6-horse field.
I think more forward horses are going to have the edge in here.
Well, they usually do, but she's just not that good.
I don't think what's behind her is very good, unless Ilara needed the race first time in this country last time.
Ilara's a lot better than she is. Okay, we see it differently.
Yeah.
Race number 5 kicks off the late pick 5. So why do you like Rigby? Hold off on the replay for a second.
I liked Rigby last time. She got off slow, and then, that was it. Last time she figured to be
got off slow.
Forward. Yeah, she didn't
it really wasn't. Start. It wasn't. She stumbled forward. She actually didn't get off slow. She did not get off slow. She stumbled forward, and it didn't really affect her. I'm just telling you.
I'm just hoping that she needed she can rebound from the 4-month break. She breaks today. She's drawn inside. It should help her cause. Listen. There's another one.
There's not much
she's
form.
The 5-2 favorite.
There's not much form to go on. I should have switched my picks. I didn't realize she'd be that short, though. The lines, obviously the lines. Not David this week, and we saw how off they were yesterday. But I think dropping down, she probably is. That's not why I like her. I like her because of this. You're going to see that she was 9th, beaten 12, but I think you want to watch Irad on the stretch. Now she wasn't winning, and I'm not saying Irad did anything wrong. And he's trying here, and she's just going nowhere. But right in here, he eases her.
Just saves her up, yeah.
He eases her. And so what happens then is the past performances get a little perverted because she lost a race by 10.5 or 12.5 lengths that she might have lost by 6. Now, I'm not saying it's really that big a deal, but I don't think her performance is really accurate because she was eased at the 8th pole in this race. And by the way, he probably did the right thing kind of easier.
course.
It's not. I'm not in any way suggesting that Irad did anything wrong whatsoever. She had no chance. She was backing through the field off a layoff. But I mean, she's dropping. And the other thing is, like,
who do you want?
everybody's in such horrendous form in this race. I do like constitutional rage. I think, she was wide last time. All the running was done inside. She broke a little slowly in that race. I thought cutting back to 7 furlongs could do it for her. And I looked at this field. I mean, she's the only one that has even respectable form. I mean, you've got Barbara second. Based on what?
First time for Walder. Jorge Delgado had this horse, and the horse changed hands a couple of times. His first time for Walder on the turf. And this horse's turf races, I don't think
in the dirt for
I don't
Walder.
think you'd hold her 2-year-old turf races all around 2 turns against her. Now she's cutting back to 1 turn. She's first time Peter on Walder on the turf.
But he didn't improve her on the dirt.
Right, but they were so intent on running this. They ran this filly 4 of her first 5 races on the grass.
Okay.
And
Listen, it's a horrible field. I get it. I didn't see her, but I get it. I mean, write this down. I didn't know she can run it all anymore. She was also drifting out last time. I mean,
Yeah,
I've got her third in here because I had nowhere else to go. And maybe you're right with Barbara. Listen, I mean,
Barbara being put second was a function of the rest of her competition.
where do you put Barbara Ann in the oeuvre of the Beach Boys? You a Beach Boys fan?
I'm not.
No.
No.
Good vibrations. Good vibrations.
But
Great
this is
song.
what happens. Even if I like the music, if I feel like it's inappropriate for the artist to do a Christmas album, and nobody less.
Can you imagine having to go through life like this? Really? Can you imagine?
I mean, that's the end of it.
Seriously, could you imagine waking up and dealing with this every morning?
Once I hear Little Saint Nick, it's curtains.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
In case you're wondering what we're talking about during the break, we're talking about Buddy Holly. We got to Buddy Holly because there's a great line in American Graffiti where the John Milner character is not happy when Mackenzie Phillips is playing the Beach Boys in the car, and he says rock and roll has gone downhill ever since Buddy Holly died. Buddy Holly, here's one for you. Buddy Holly and Jimi Hendrix, maybe the two from a talent biggest losses, dying young. I mean, a lot of people did. Janis Joplin, obviously incredible, but the influence they might have had. Buddy Holly, I mean, they still play his songs, right? Who doesn't play Not Fade Away?
I don't disagree with anything you said.
Yeah, brilliant guy. Before our time, but brilliant.
Yep.
Race number 6. You know what I love about race number 6? I get to relive pain. The horses to beat, though, are the 4 and 6.
What pain are we going to relive?
Mozienko. Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
why are you doing this to you? Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I hate myself.
See, if I sent the videos in, I would never do this to you.
Well, I'm doing.
Why would I
I'm
want to
doing
show
it, I'm
this
not
to
doing
you?
this. I'm doing this for them.
For them?
Let's take a look at Cali Magic running
Wow.
and Waylon Josie running second and third
selfless.
last time behind Bank of Anna, who was bet like the race had been run a week ago. I mean, in the morning,
Amazing.
the afternoon.
Absolutely amazing.
How she was an overwhelming favorite to Bank on Anna, I'll never know, but she did barely hold her off. Why do you? And I'm not against your idea here. Why do you think Waylon Josie will beat her today? Ooh, that was awful,
what
guys.
was that?
Please don't do that.
I'm betting the rider change, if I'm being
that's okay.
completely honest.
Louis okay.
Yeah, Louis
He understands.
did a great job yesterday.
He did. He's actually. I mean, he's won like 6 races to meet. He won 2 for Donk on closing day at Aqueduct.
That was so sick yesterday.
I mean, I understand where you're going with that. My problem is that what's Trevor going to do better than what Louis did last time?
I think he'll be a little bit more aggressive.
Well, he was right on top of the pace.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair.
I think with Quality Stones going to the lead, he'll just kind of sidle up alongside and just kind of lap on. You don't think so?
No, she's not fast enough to lap on unless Trevor really aggressive. Maybe it'll help. I'm not sure. Do you really want to send after Quality Stones?
I want her to be forward, yeah.
Well, she's probably going to be sitting somewhere between second and fourth.
I don't really trust these horses. You know, even Cali Magic. Cali Magic's kind of one-paced,
I think
right? Kelly Magic doesn't really have a big kick.
Well, she's the fastest horse in the race, Anthony. That's in my opinion, what she has going for her.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes just the best horse angle does work.
Yeah.
And she's the best horse.
She's probably better with a little less distance.
She's better shorter.
I
so
agree.
I just think she's logical.
Okay.
Mozienko, she got a terrible ride last time. I mean, I don't know what the big hurry was. We'll take a look at that.
Popped the cork early last time.
Yeah, I mean, she obviously was considerably best in here. I was on the phone with a friend of mine during this race, and he said, this is going to be a hard one for you to lose. And I said, the way I'm going, this horse is about to find a way to get beat. And maybe sending her in that 22-4 second quarter was a mistake. But let me say something. This race makes her have a chance here,
yeah.
But the time to get the money with her was last time. That's the problem.
Right.
I still even thought she won, actually. I didn't even think I lost this one. Then I saw the slow-mo. I don't want the others. I don't want any of the others.
I don't either.
I don't want any of the others.
I mean, I guess the only thing that could happen here is Quality Stones just gets loose and keeps going. She likes it here. She's 3 for 4 at Belmont.
It's
three quarters.
Much tougher field. I got it.
It's a much tougher field, but she might get in front of these horses
She's
and
the
get
speed.
to stop. Yeah.
She's the controlling speed. I'm just not a fan.
Yep.
Race number 7.
She'd be my third in.
Speaking of races with no form, let's take a look at race number 7. For me, the key in this race is to bet against Gracefully Wild, who I'm guessing is going to be. She's the 8-1. Okay, I'm a little confused. How is she 8-1 and Jannie Mae is?
Wait, hold on a second. He's got my horse, the 4-1 favorite. Oh yeah, I have it right here. Wow, I'm a knucklehead. Wow.
Well, he's wrong.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. My friend who made the line is
literally
a
behind the
brilliant
curtain, too.
guy in horse racing. Morning lines, something he's never done before, and he probably will never be doing again. Gracefully Wild, I imagine, will be, if not the favorite, very close to it. I'm not sure why she wouldn't be. Take a look at her last race. Somebody else is coming out of that race, right? She's a dancing queen who broke a little slow in there, about a length and a half slow.
From the rail.
She didn't do that much running, though, in here.
No.
I just thought this was an awful, awful, awful race. The horse that won was that Mike Dubb Quitter. Now, she was a little better in the turf, but you're supposed to go by her, aren't you, if you're Gracefully Wild?
Absolutely. That's why I couldn't pick her.
And I think this race
Dr.
is
Bernie's a part of this, too, and I couldn't even do it for Dr. Bernie. I mean, she just getting beat by Celine the Queen as poorly as she ran.
How did she not get by her?
I don't know. Yeah. She has the whole stretch to get by her.
This race is crying out for strangers because there's no form to go on.
I don't think I realized that Jannie Mae was the 4-1 favorite.
Well, she's not going to be 4.
No, she won't be 4-1,
She's not going to be
right?
favored. I don't see how she's favored. What do you like about her?
I just felt like cutting back in distance, first time for Michelle.
But when do cutbacks work?
Gets the Lasix. I don't know if she
Big rider change, right?
Yeah, big rider change.
Ran against better horses. She didn't do any running, though, but she ran against better horses.
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle's
I just wanted a fresh face.
Michelle used. Yeah. Okay. I think the 6 is a very interesting horse in this race.
Okay.
And this is a big rider upgrade. And she actually ran last time. And with a more judicious ride, do you know how fast that pace was?
Supersonic.
I mean, they were absolutely flying. With a more judicious ride, I don't see any reason this horse can't win here. I thought that effort last time was not bad at all. It was just an insane, insane pace. And that was coming off of a 8-month layoff.
Be a big price, too.
Well, I don't know. I think you're going to see a lot of horses in this race, and the 5-1. Nobody should be a short price in this race. I'm not.
You don't think she's going to be double digits?
Probably, but I don't think she's going to be 25-1. I mean, you don't think other people are going to see that? The rider change and the fact that she ran off and ran I mean, you thought the horse that won the race had a chance against an impossible spot the other day. Obviously, she didn't run, but this is the horse that did all the dirty work in the race. I don't know. I mean, and let me get it. Let me get it. Seems okay. Mm-hmm. Did Chase last time. Those are better horses. Hasn't been out since October.
Chase from the outside gets Lasix, right? Drops in for the tag. Yeah, she made a lot of sense.
Dropping down.
Yeah.
The Rob Atras firster, Halified, I actually thought the workout, the 2-year-old sale, was okay. 10 2/5, not asked at all. And this horse has a plethora of turf pedigree. The Dam won 4 turf races, ran a 93 Beyer. She's produced 2 turf winners out of 5 to try it. One of them was actually okay. And, I mean, they're really going to be, I know that Rob's not a trainer you're dying about the first time starting the turf, the way his barn's going. And in this field, how could you not want to look at a turf horse with a little bit of pedigree in here? I'm going to look at 6s, 10s, the 4 a little bit. This is a crazy race. But I think when you have these races, you have to be willing to bet horses that look terrible. And I think Rent Control sort of fits that bill. I do not think that horse is as bad as she looks. Race number 8. So, we'll take a look at my favorite horse, Chateau, because he's the fastest horse early in the grounds. No lead is ever safe.
No lead.
But
in any class, in any track.
To be fair to him, there are no drafteds in this race.
No, and this took a nice effort from Drafted to get it done.
Drafted paid $12 in stake in Monmouth. Nick Tamaro tweeted after the race about it. I couldn't believe it. I texted him. I said, "Didn't you think the time of telling was before?" And he said to me, "Did you think the horse would pay $12?"
Yeah, I watched that race. That was one of the weirdest betting.
I love
boards.
Drafted. I just love that horse. I think he's just a really cool horse.
Yeah.
And he's finally sort of putting it together. And he still never gets a fast pace. He's the horse to beat, Chateau. And the way Rob's going, he'll probably wire the field. But is there really going to be that kind of discrepancy in their odds? Given the horse you have and I have on top, we'll take a look at 3-2 zones last race. Given the race he ran last time with the 101 buyer, is it really?
They love betting Chateau, Andy.
Well, they know he's going to be in front.
Right, 5-2, 1-2, 8-5, 5-2.
Jason
even
Blewett,
money.
They love ones.
I mean, imagine.
He looked like Ruffian if you look at his first quarter.
He's never
look
been.
At this. Look at this.
How about in his 12 starts? Right, he
Probably
has not been higher than 7-2.
And he has the lead at the quarter in every single one. I got to look back and see how many races of his dirt races he had the lead in.
How amazing is that record?
Well, he's a rocket ship. Meanwhile, this horse really ran last time. And the problem with 3-2 zone, and I'm sure you thought of this when you picked him as well, we kind of missed the boat beating up on a weaker field at the 970. And he's trained by that Ray Handel guy.
Yeah.
That guy's the worst.
It pains me to write a number
next to Ray.
It's awful.
The good news is you mostly don't have to.
Right.
Ray's actually having kidding aside, Ray's having a tremendous meet.
And isn't this horse supposed to be, with Chateau in the race, he's going to have some pace to run at, and I don't know.
Well, some pace to run at, but Chateau might keep going.
He almost made too much sense.
It must have been hard for you not to pick Newbaum.
Admit
it. It was tough. You wanted to pick him,
but his best races are when he's forward, and he's got to be chasing.
To be honest with you, if I was going to pick a goofy horse in here, I'd pick Fire Sword.
Blinker's off Fire Sword, by the way.
Just don't know where is good enough race.
Late change on your program.
He's also got Wesley Ward has to have a late change every time. He phoned it in from Ascot. Was Campanelle run yet?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. It's the last chance, right? I'm going to tell you right now, and I think you'll probably agree, though, not to put words in your mouth. I think, other than Wesley Ward, I think after this year, for the most part, the Americans are going to stop this foolishness of going there and getting beat up so they can hang out near the Queen.
Talked about this a little bit on America's Day at the Races yesterday. Wesley does it the right way because he goes there and plays our game. You can't go there and play that game.
He doesn't have the edge he had once. He's been.
He doesn't.
Wesley Ward in our lifetimes is one of the few game changers.
Can I tell you something? I honestly feel that the international sprinters have gotten better because of Wesley Ward.
I would say the 2-year-olds. I don't know if they've gotten better, but I think that
better prepared.
I think they different preparation.
I think he is
different preparation.
I think he's left a thumbprint on the game.
I agree. I think that they've adopted They adopted to a style that was working for him, and they realized that in those races he was having an edge.
Years ago, we never heard of these prolific sprinters from really.
Well, European sprinters are still not. The Australian sprinters.
But they have some horses now that you have to reckon with them.
They have good horses, but they don't have. What it is they don't have the advantage over our horses that the more distance race horses do. The European sprinters never. The best sprinters are probably the Australian sprinters, and look what that horse did the other day in the King's Stamp.
Nature Strip, that horse is a monster.
Destroyed the field. I don't care if Golden Pal got out of the gate. He wasn't beating that freak show.
He could have had start in front of him. He wasn't beating that horse that day.
Race numero 9.
La Finale.
Big get-in in race numero 9.
Yeah.
And the number 15 getting in makes a big difference. I thought disappointing last time after running well time before. Outside post, but keep in mind this race is on the Widener, not the inner. my daily throw thing going on here. He was disappointing. Who do you have on top here? Ria's Angel.
Yeah. It's funny. I probably should have. I didn't want to change everything up. I probably should have put
Okay, why do you have Rhea's Angel
Lucky
on top?
Macho Man. This is strictly a barn play.
What? Those upstarts are lawnmowers?
No, I just said it's strictly a barn play. The DePaz barn has been going so well. I didn't see a ton of turf pedigree here. I don't know why this horse is turf. Right, I know.
Because he's bad in the dirt.
Oh, we'll see. I don't know how bad. You think this horse is, you would describe this horse as bad on the dirt?
Bad is relative. Mediocre. He's,
Yeah,
he's
I would say
checking
this
off the
horse is
box.
mediocre. I just
Not great turf, first-time turf
No.
for Horacio.
no. He's winless.
I think Horacio's a tremendous trainer, but I don't see this horse at all. And also, the problem with this horse is he's going to get bet off dirt for him. That's the problem. If he had terrible dirt races and he had some turf pedigree and you want to bet him at 20-1, that's fine. After I got half the price on my goofy horse against that Clement Firster yesterday, and I thought Clement's horse would be 3-1 by default, and the horse paid 7-1. I'll take the Firster on the turf. The dam did not win the turf. She handled it. She had a foal that ran an 88 buyer.
That's the
Shin
sixth.
Sun.
Shin Sun.
Was
Fresh
the side-
gelding, by the way. Sorry.
was not a fresh gelding. Never runs a turf. The second dam was a good turf horse. A Shin Forward is a Group 1 turf winner, over in Japan. There's plenty of turf pedigree, and boy, he couldn't have found a better spot. So I'm going to take Shin Sun. You don't have in the top 4?
I don't know what to do here.
Clearly.
Barkley's
Well, you
first.
have to have Michelle Nevin.
Barkley's Firsters, man. I don't know. They just don't
Well,
usually fire. The Clement thing I screwed up
He
yesterday. with the
ran
Barkley
second
first.
yesterday with a Firster to a 1-5 shot. We'll have to agree to disagree. I do like that horse. What about? Oh, let's look at Flincher's Rock. This is when Flincher's Rock was good, when he ran second to Orb in the Tower at Belmont.
What happened?
What happened to him?
What?
And
I mean,
can he
just-
find his mojo back, though, off the layoff?
And he's a fresh gelding as well for Bob Caceres. I don't know. I mean, he never. Not that there was much glory to recapture, but after that this second place finish here, where he just gets beat a length, what happened here, Andy? There's a great mystery of the turf.
It's one of the great mysteries, really, in history. They should do like one of those shows,
We
those,
should
those
do one.
mystery PBS
Why
shows.
are you
what happened
always-
to the form of Flincher's
Why
Rock?
are you always handing these shows off?
By the way, Flincher, he is off a layoff. He could run better. Even Congla's a fight's first time. There's no pedigree on that horse either. Upstart is 2 for 61 first time in the Gurf, in case you're interested.
When you say they should do a show, is it the same they that know?
People that they know. They being the ones who were somehow alive in the pick
That
six.
would be a great show. They know.
If uncovering who they are, it would be kind of like when Geraldo was Al
The
Capone's
Al
vault. or
Capone vault,
something.
there was nothing in there.
Yeah.
That was depressing, wasn't it? That was on PIX. That was on
Except the
Channel
show
11.
is much more remembered because of the massive failure.
Right, could you imagine if they found 80,000, nobody
Right,
would ever
you
remember
find
the
some
number.
money and some guns, nobody
Right.
would have cared. But
What's in Al Capone's vault? The bagel. Absolutely nothing was in Al Capone's
there was no
vault.
big.
There wasn't a bagel, no. They'd find a bagel in my vault.
No, they wouldn't. You'd
Leftover
have, you'd
chicken.
have eaten it. Are you kidding?
Leftover chicken parm hero.
We're
Little
done.
white pie from Nove.
Your vault would be empty too. Who are you kidding?
My vault is empty.
You know what I was fascinated by when I was a kid? Is cornerstones. That when they put the new building.
Okay.
They put the stuff in them and stuff, and they open them up.
Yeah.
I like that. Anyway, head over to Naira Bets. Think of how much fun you've just had. Now you can have even more fun.
We should do a time capsule.
Join, time capsule. I like that. I'm hungry. I gotta get something to eat. Think what James brought up was good because he's not here right now. I could just take it at it and eat it.
I don't know what James is.
I don't know. Andrew, would you go through James's food for us, please, and let me know if I want that? Let me know if it's something edible. We'll just take it and you and I will cut it up.
You see, you say that to Andrew when you don't realize that Andrew was more likely to do that than not do it.
Who said I didn't want him to do it? Okay, match 200, nairabets.com. Andrew's currently covering about 73 miles a day.
Greatest.
Here, going back and forth.
Andrew's one of the
handling
hardest
sound
working people I know,
assignments.
one of my favorite people.
The guy's putting on more miles than the average trucker on
I
a daily
put up
basis.
with Antonio and Jason to hang out with Andrew. How about that?
Wow, it's a lot.
That's how much I like Andrew.
How's Antonio?
He's all right.
Good man.
Probably sweat. He's probably sweating today. I can tell you that. But he's
Not as much
probably
as you
watching.
are.
Not as much
20%
as I
win
am,
bonus all week at Royal Ascot, which now means just one more day.
Uno mas.
Tomorrow's the last day. Oh,
That was terrible.
no, I almost hit off the glass. That was almost a very good shot, actually. Closer than you would have been. $2,000 late pick 5 bonus. Hit and split. Why don't we write hit and split? I like the hit and
I
split.
like hit and split.
Yeah, hit and split's good.
Yeah.
Opted at Naira Bet, Santa Anita, say closing weekend. Our good friend Frank Miramati.
Get to
Belmont
see Frank
contest.
next week.
Can't wait. Always happy to see Frank. Always happy to talk to him. Got 4 hours and 44 minutes and counting. Go to naira.com/contest, live money contest. We also have a carryover in the pick six, $59,977. We'll call it $60,000. Okay. and that's the story. It starts in race number 4. Tough sequence today, by the way.
Yes.
Tough sequence. A little bit of a Jackson Pollock painting in this pick 6. And last but not least, America's Day at the Races. Churchill's back in action today, 12:30 to 5:30.
Had a little Naira Mets night.
I
City
heard.
Field last night.
Yeah, good game too.
Great
I got
game.
home. I got home late. I didn't get home until after 9 last night, but so I'm on the late show. But put it on because I mean the basketball game was kind of a blowout. And let's face it, I'm focusing on the Mets right now.
Sugar Diaz able to hold it down after giving up the.
Struck out the side, right?
I'm sorry.
Struck out the side.
Yeah, but he had of course the obligatory leadoff single. To
They're a
put
pretty
the
good
leadoff
team,
man on
Milwaukee.
first.
All right,
He's having a good season.
we are done. More fun than a frog in a glass of milk, as they say. Johnny I is up next for the reprise of Scratches and Changes.